if you're here live, hashtag live, and if you're here for the replay, hashtag replay. I have a very special guest here today. He's been in the SEO industry, and he's an SEO expert, and I want you guys to learn about him, know about him. So, hey, Greg, welcome to my group, first of all. I'm glad you're here, and I want my group to know who you are. Tell me about yourself and who or what got you into the whole affiliate marketing online world, online passive income world.
Yeah, thanks for having me in your group here on your show and everything. So I do SEO now. I've done a lot of different things over the last couple of years. I knew what I was going to say before this, and I was kind of joking for some reason, but
focus.
Yeah, I just concentrate on SEO, affiliate SEO specifically. Done a lot of different things over the years. Most of my success has come from teaching courses on platforms like Udemy, and then like my own courses, as well as affiliate commissions from SEO, traffic from SEO and stuff. And then I have a course where I teach what I do now, like my processes for SEO, because what I like about SEO is opposed to some of these other strategies and methods for making money online out there, is that the way I approach it and the way I teach it, it's pretty infinitely scalable, which means I can never go after all the keywords. I could never get all the traffic. So it is one of those, I feel like one of those handful of things that that can be taught that is duplicatable and scalable. And, thousands of people can do the same thing and still get, similar, greater results than what I'm getting. So, it's cool to have finally found my little, niche, because I've, done a lot of different things, outside of, affiliate marketing and courses, and they've all made money, that you can make money pretty much doing anything. But, it's just cool to have finally found my little groove that, I can do this for a while for myself, and then I can teach this to others. And it's just something that is, to me, it meets what I can call my 3 S's. It's simple, scalable, and sustainable. So, until search engines go away or completely change or something, it's going to be around for quite some time. So.
Oh, cool. Yeah, definitely. There's a bunch of appeal in simple, scalable, and sustainable, especially simple. That sounds awesome. Hey, Melvin. Hey, Calvin. Hey, Kevin. Kevin, your protege and partner is here. Hey, Chris. Hey, guys. Thanks for joining us. You're having your morning coffee? Wow, Kevin, it's nighttime for me. Well, I don't know where you're tuning in from, Calvin. But let us know. Thanks, you guys. Smash the heart button. All right, cool. So you said that everything else you tried have made money. So why do you choose to focus in on SEO? Like, why?
That's a great question. Again, there's a lot of different ways to make money online, and I guess and everybody's got different, things they're interested in stuff. Other people have different specific skills, and so they're better at maybe YouTube or better at maybe Facebook ads. They've got that kind of analytical brain or whatever, that they just run ads, and they are all about metrics and things like that. Yeah. And that's cool. What I was just looking for was something simple that I could do like a little bit every day and kind of slowly build my income, kind of remain anonymous, and just like the appeal of like blogs, where not that I wanted to hide behind like a pen name or anything like that, but I could just do it, slow and steady every single day and start to build this passive income. And that's what I was really looking for. So SEO just kind of provided that. That's why I'm doing it. Because again, again, there's plenty of different ways to make money online. And like I said, most all the things I've ever tried have made money. And so if I want to make a lot of money, I just keep doing those things. But it just it wasn't something, all those other ways of making money online, I didn't feel comfortable that it was something I could just commit to for 5 or 10 years and just, do it at my own pace or however much I wanted to scale it up or whatever, and just sort of be, as successful as I wanted, but also kind of remain anonymous, because I don't have really that much desire to be famous or internet famous or anything like that. It's just a little bit of a byproduct of having a course. And then when you have people that are successful, your name gets out there, so it kind of naturally comes back to you. I don't, I like helping people, but it's just not, I don't, again, desire to be in the spotlight, really. It's just a byproduct.
Yeah, definitely. SEO seems like you can be behind the scenes and not really, and still make a lot and not have to show up to anything.
Yeah.
Hey, Evan, thanks for joining us. Hey guys, if you're here live, #live, and for the replay, #replay. And I have to say this all the time. It sounds so lame, but okay. So if you guys have any questions, ask Greg in the comments, because if you have any SEO questions or anything about that, he's the authority figure. I mean, I've heard Greg's name like in the wind, like around, like, oh, Greg Jeffries SEO course, and then it wasn't until I interviewed Kevin that I was like, oh wow, his name do get around.
Yeah.
Like,
his interview was basically all towards me, so that was cool.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Crazy.
Yeah. So if you have any questions, ask me, because I know how to make money.
What? Is that real? Is that real? Is that the one that you have for your picture in your profile? Like you're holding up like stacks of cash?
No, that was fake. These are real. Those are real in the profile, but like just a little hack for people, that don't, they're not making that much money right now, just to kind of get yourself mentally there. You gotta kind of fake it till you make it. So if you don't, you don't have $1 million in the bank to withdraw and have these stacks on your desk. You can get these movie what did somebody say, a funny comment?
No, I'm laughing because you're holding the stacks. I was thinking that could be a cool screenshot I'll take later on of you go like this. Yeah. Like this.
It's real, but so it's you just gotta kind of fake it till you make it. So with this is, I don't have stacks full of $100 bills or whatever, but you can get this movie prop money off of sites like bonanza.com. So if you just go to bonanza.com, or there's other sites you can get them, just type in movie prop money. And it just kind of, I got some for me and some of my friends and like my buddy Tyler, and I just gave them out as, for them to keep by their desk. Yeah, because it kind of tricks your mind, because, you look at this every single day while you're working, and you kind of start to believe, I've already got this. And eventually, it sort of motivates you, and eventually you will have this amount, and or at least this amount that you can withdraw, and you still have tons more in the bank and stuff. And then, kind of a step up from that is, this is real money, but it's just $1 bills, so it looks like a lot more. And so it's kind of like the stepping stone to, the ultimate, which would be a stack full of $100 bills. But, a stack full of $100
gold bars.
Yeah. It's like $100K for a gold bar or something. But, this is only $100. If this was all hundreds, it's only 10K. So it's not that much. Or it doesn't look that big, for 10K. So just, the one in my profile picture on Facebook, this is only 500. So that's 500 in each hand. So it's only like 1,000. Looks like a lot more. It is real, but it's more for me. And I promise you, every time you go to the bank and you ask for like 1,000 ones, they look at you crazy. But it's, sometimes it's just nice to touch the money that you work so hard for. You kind of I need that kind of, tactile experience or whatever, because, when you're doing all digital stuff, all you see is numbers on the screen, and, online banking, you just log into your online accounts and transfer things to PayPal. So it's not real until you withdraw it. But this is like what you're, working so hard for. And most people don't even carry that much cash. So it's a neat I think it's a cool little hack. It kind of can help, I don't know, help it be more real and stuff. Because most people don't carry cash or change or anything like that, or do everything digital and credit cards, and that's cool. But sometimes it's nice to know what you're working so hard for. So.
Yeah. I just want to say hey to whoever's joining. Hey, Daryl. Kevin is asking what industry Daryl is from. Daryl is actually a movie producer, and he's in the real estate industry. And Daryl says it's his first time hearing of you, Greg, and Mark Archer's here. Hey, Mark. Hey, guys. Thanks for tuning in. So basically, you can get those stacks from Bonanza, movie props, to motivate you guys. All right. So if you don't wait, there is an audience question. Let's see. I think it's one of those basic questions. What SEO tools do you suggest for starters? By Melvin. Melvin's asking that question.
Yeah. So, I just like to give this one out because it's easier to say, but I use it, but it's a keyword tool. Just so if you use keywordtool.io, it's a tool that can just help you get some long tail keyword suggestions. And the value and benefit of those are that's your starting point for creating content, which is what SEO is all about. And so if you have if you just type in like a root keyword, like let's just use ClickFunnels since everybody's crazy about ClickFunnels, it's going to give you a list of long tail keywords or longer tail keywords that people are typing in, questions that they're asking about ClickFunnels. And then that is the keywords that you can start to create content for your blog or videos about. And then that content's going to draw in traffic from the search engines, because most people, first off, they don't even know anything about SEO. So like your competition is extremely small to start with. And then the only people that are doing this is people that I've shared this with, which is just like probably a couple hundred people. But out of those couple hundred people, still, there are only literally a handful of people that are going to take action on creating content for those specific keywords around like ClickFunnels, because, and for various reasons, maybe they don't, I don't know, maybe they don't have the time or resources, or they're scared to get in front of the camera. There's a million different reasons. So like one of the things that I've learned over the years is literally just showing up, just being there, like increases your chance like a 10,000% of getting results, because most people, they talk all the time, they don't do anything. And so if you literally just freaking publish a video, and especially if you're even just publishing one a day or writing one blog post a day, even if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to start to eventually start getting traffic. And then, that's the most important thing. And once you have traffic, there's all kinds of ways you can monetize that traffic. So anyway, so that's a long-winded answer, but the keywordtool.io is kind of like the heart, or a keyword tool is just for ideas. I don't really focus on all these keyword competition tools because I don't believe any of those little metrics that they say as far as competitive. I've had stuff they say is super competitive, I've been able to rank for easy, and the stuff they say is easy, sometimes it's really hard to rank for. Or some of the stuff, the thing about the keyword tool like Google Keyword Planner, you have to realize that that's designed for like Google for advertising and stuff. It's not really they're when you type in long tail keywords, like try to do any research on, they're not going to give you anything because it'll say, oh, 0 search results, or there's too little data. Okay, but like those are the money keywords. Those are the people, and those are the best keywords in the world because they're yes, they're not searched very much in general. Sometimes they are, and whatever data Google spits out and these keyword tools, it's just a complete lie. But they're easier to rank for. You know, you don't have to be an expert. They don't have a lot of competition, and they're the buyer keywords because they're super specific. Whereas, you know, something that's more generic that might get a ton of traffic, like shoes. Okay, I'm sure it does get a lot of traffic, but like they're probably just doing research on shoes. Like, but if they're typing in red Nike men's running shoes size 10, they're probably right about to buy some red Nike men's running shoes, you know, and they're just looking for like the best deal, and then they're about to pull out their credit card. So that's the traffic that you really want to step in front of, especially with SEO, because SEO like traditionally takes time. So these are things that will speed up the process of SEO, because since these are lesser competitive keywords, they don't take as much time to rank. And the keywords that you're trying to go after, they're buying keywords. So they're the money keywords, which is all you care about. All you care about is making money. You know, I mean, traffic is good, but like what I also mean by the money keywords is they're already a little bit more educated. So like if you had a site that was ranking for like shoes, that's great, cool, you got all this traffic, but now you have to sell them. Now you have to educate them, because they're like the top of the funnel. They're usually probably pretty uninformed, and so you got to educate them on maybe what is the best shoe or what is the best brand of shoe. Like, I don't want to do a lot of selling. I just want to, I call it zero resistance marketing. I just want to like connect targeted traffic to a targeted offer and like be the middleman and just make the sales. Like, I don't want to, you know, it's like if you're searching again for something very specific, I want to be like, hey, you want this? Here it is over here. I'm not going to try to convince you to even get something else a lot of times. Like for somebody searching for lead pages, like, yes, I might suggest ClickFunnels, but if they're, you know, got it in their head that they want lead pages, let them buy lead pages. They have an affiliate program too. So, you know, that's a cool thing about affiliate marketing is you don't like just sell them what they want. You know, yeah, you can have your own opinions, but give them maybe two choices to choose from, because if you just say like ClickFunnels is the best, it's the only tool, then the other option is they're not going to buy. So like, you know, give them another choice, because maybe ClickFunnels is better for something, but like maybe they don't want ClickFunnels. So
yeah, that reminds me. I was speaking to Nate. I don't know if you know Nate McAllister, but he says it's like buyer centric keywords, keywords that will make they're ready to pull out their wallet. So that's awesome. Thank you for that answer. Very thorough. Hey Daryl. Hey Jason. Jason just joined. Hey guys, if you're here with us, thanks for joining us, and hashtag live if you're here live. Smash the heart button if you have a second. And so Greg is teaching us about SEO, and he just answered Melvin's question about what keyword tool to use, keyword.io. I think it was keywordtool.io. And to focus on keywords that they're ready to buy and you don't have to educate them. All right. So if you guys don't have any other questions, I'm going to ask an audience question earlier. So you started a course. Where did you start the course after, like, how long after you saw success doing SEO that you're like, okay, it's time for a course because I feel like I can teach this? And what were your goals when you were like doing your course, and how come your course is the only course I hear about in the affiliate marketing world that's like top of the, you know, there's so many SEO courses everywhere, right? I don't know. Those are my questions.
So to answer your first question about the course, I was making courses a long time before this one. And so at least that was kind of my training ground, I guess, of like Udemy and stuff, pumping out, and Skillshare, kind of pumping out these little mini courses. And they were about all the different things that I was learning over the years. And so I'd gotten comfortable like on camera and behind the camera and just on video in general and just teaching. And I had to have things dumbed down for myself to be able to implement them. So that's kind of my teaching style. And I try to put myself in, I try to teach like I'm teaching to my mom or something, or a beginner, some like somebody that maybe has never heard of this stuff before, because it is simple if you explain it in the right way. Anybody can understand anything if it's explained in the right way. And I've taken a lot of SEO courses over the years, and a lot of the stuff that I'm doing and that I teach, you know, obviously most of it's pulled from other courses over the years, but I feel like I explained it in a lot simpler ways than it was attempted to be explained to me, because it was just way over my head. Like I was, you know, when I made this course initially, I was like, man, you know, some of the stuff I'm teaching, I was thinking about some of the courses I took years ago, and I was like, oh, this is what they were trying to explain, but they did a terrible job of it. Like it was like, and a lot's changed in just, you know, in the last 6 years in internet marketing. Like the tools have gotten more affordable, and there have been better solutions. So it's like faster and easier and cheaper for somebody that knows nothing about making money or computers or anything to just be successful, especially if they have the right direction. Because a lot of this stuff that the way that you had to do what I'm teaching, even like 5 years ago, there were so many little steps and switches and dials that you had to know how to, you know, control and stuff, and know where a certain button was and things like that. And if you didn't have a teacher, first off, it's like the people that knew how to do it, unfortunately, they were doing it. They weren't teaching it. And so when they tried to make a course about it, it sucked, because they're not teachers, and you could tell they really didn't have any desire to be a good teacher, but they were just like some nerdy computer person that was really good at doing this thing. And that's great for them, but it's like, I want to learn this. And it was really difficult. So, yeah, I don't want people to get the impression that this course just came out of nowhere and like I'm good at teaching all of a sudden, and you know, it's my first course and it was a hit and stuff. I taught a lot of courses before, so it all kind of converged into this course. A lot of different skills, you know, SEO and then just teaching and all that stuff kind of combined. And then, but when I first published this course, it was not until last year. It was only about a year or so before I published the course first that I was like, ooh, I've got something, because that's when all the pieces kind of finally clicked with SEO, because I had been through a lot of other courses, and one of the ones I went through that definitely helped me, you may have heard of OMG, Mike Long, Dave Mills, Greg Morrison. It's a high ticket SEO community. It's a lot of money. Most people can't afford it. It's not in the budget of most people. But there's a lot of success stories that have come out of that. And that was what really gave me the initial confidence. But, you know, some of the ways that they teach SEO, some of the tools they teach inside there, from my understanding of what they taught, it was still ridiculously expensive, especially for somebody that was trying to get started, that had a, you know, average 9 to 5 job. You know, and that was on top of what you already paid to be inside OMG. So it was somehow I was able to kind of make it work. But I've never made a lot of money at a job, so I can completely relate to the people that can't afford that and can't afford these tools and stuff. So I saw these other success stories in OMG, and it took me, like, just to give you a time frame, like, this is how slow I am and how long it took me because of just the we call like the learning curve. Yeah, the learning curve combined with like the expenses that I thought were required, combined with the lack of money that I had. So I signed up for OMG in the fall of 2013.
How much was OMG?
$5,000.
Okay.
But I couldn't, they had a payment plan, and that was the only way I could get in. So it was like $400 a month for like a year. And yeah, it's a lot. And I went through the whole course. A lot of people don't do that. It's tons and hours and hours and hours and hours. But I'm somebody that, you know, if I'm going to pay that much money for something, I'm all in. Like, I'm going to go through every freaking module and take notes. Most people don't. They're like, you know, they'll go through 30 minutes and like, this doesn't work, and they'll give up. Like, not me. You know, I paid all this money. There's got to be something good in here. And it did. It gave me the confidence with SEO. It kind of connected the pieces that I was missing, but it seemed what I understood about it seemed so expensive to kind of get everything kickstarted. And so, you know, over the years, I just never fully gave up. But I guess things started to kind of change for me in the very beginning of 2016. That was when I first, like, so it's all these things combined. I know it's a lot of information, but like, it's all these things combined. It's not just like I wasn't somebody that was lucky and I just had this magical one aha moment and everything just dominoed and like magically fell into place after that. It was all these elements combined. So like, combination of you know, starting by, you know, doing a lot of different things, failing in all different areas and making a little bit of money. So I had some success, some confidence. Every win kind of increased my confidence, and then you know, investing in things or whatever, and doing the courses. But and then going through OMG, that gave me some more concrete education, like in SEO, because again, like, this stuff, I don't know of any other course out there than like mine and OMG and maybe a few others that actually teach SEO, but in a way that's like easy to digest, that is actually implementable by the average person. That's like, that, you know, doesn't want to be like a SEO nerd or anything like that, or do clients or things like that. Anyway, so what I was getting at is in 2016, I think this was kind of what propelled me forward, that gave me the confidence to take action, which is the most important thing. Like, I know I have a design background, so, you know, I was taught that everything should be nice and pretty and stuff. I did go to art school, which that's kind of introduced me to abstract stuff, which is a whole different world. But I have a fine art background, you know, before I went to art school. So I have, you know, I want everything to look nice when it comes to like logos and designs, which is kind of, you have to unlearn pretty much everything you learned in school to be successful at marketing, because ugly designs convert better. You know, non-proper English formatting is how you write to sales letters and stuff and emails, which is not what you learn in school. So you have to like unlearn everything because it doesn't work. But what I was getting at is that the thing that kind of propelled me was finally getting out of my comfort zone and going to these live events. And I went there. First one was just kind of go to a live event because I'd never been to one. And the limiting belief behind that was I didn't have the money, and I didn't, not in my bank account, but I did have good credit. So I had a couple of credit cards, and, these were the same credit cards that I was, spending and investing in like $97 ClickFunnels products, or not ClickFunnels, ClickBank products, and the upsells and all this stuff. So like I had the money on credit. And so I just, for a while, for, that first part of that year, I was like, you know what, I'm just not going to buy any more products. I'm going to redirect this credit towards, the cost it's going to take to go to the event, the flight, the hotels and stuff. And it was tough, because it was, even for a free event, just the hotels and the flight and the food alone can add up to like $2-3 grand easy. And that's if the event's free. So I went to a couple events that year. I think I went to I went to 2 at least, 3 actually, but so no, I didn't go to Funnel Hacking Live until last year, my first time in 2017. So I skipped the first 2, I think. Because it wasn't, you have to understand, everybody's crazy about ClickFunnels, but ClickFunnels wasn't, even 2 years ago, they weren't who they are today. Like the first Funnel Hacking Live event, they had an affiliate offer because, so affiliates could promote the first Funnel Hacking Live. I don't know if you knew that. So, but they don't do that anymore because they know that they're going to fill it up with their own promotions anyway. But that first event, they didn't know that they're going to be able to fill up that event. So they were just opening it up to anyone. Please, affiliates, please promote it and stuff. But no, the Funnel Hacking Live, my first time was last year. And no, but I went to, if you're interested, the first event I went to is Chris Records' 3C event in Vegas. And then the second one was JV Zoo's Marketing Mayhem event in Orlando. And I met some of the same people at both of them, and the JV Zoo one was really good because I met a couple of SEO guys that I had known about and I knew had a lot more results than me. Dan Brock, who has the Deadbeat Super Affiliate, and this was right before he created his channel. So at that event, he was like, I'm thinking about starting a authority YouTube channel, and by the end of that year, I think he had almost had 100,000 subscribers. So it took off. And so I met him, and then I met Jeff Linney, who you may or may not be familiar with. He's pretty awesome at SEO, specifically at high ticket launch jacking. So he does launch jacking, but he pretty much only focuses on high ticket stuff because, again, this is SEO. It's going to take a little time, and then if you're going to promote something, might as well be high ticket because if you could get $1,000 for a sale, would you take that over $10? Yeah, you have to sell a lot of $20 products with a 50% commission to equal $1,000 when you could just sell one $2,000 product, and that's still a good month for most people. So yeah. Jeff does really well with that, but I was talking to them for a couple of, a long time, but within a couple of, 15 or 20 minutes, I could kind of size them up and realize that I actually knew way more than them about, or I felt I did know a lot more than them about SEO, but they were making more than me. So why is that? And the main reason is because even though they only knew a little bit, they were taking action on those little bits of information that they knew. And over here, Greg, I knew all this, mountain of information, and I was doing stuff, but it was I'll put out a video every 2 weeks or something. It's dude, just work harder. And you'll get results faster, which will give you more data, which will show you what's working faster. And you can just continue working on things that are that are getting results. So I walked away from that event, and that's what really kind of gave me the confidence to move forward. And at that especially with SEO, and at that time it was I was focusing more on like YouTube SEO, video SEO, because I didn't really I wasn't super confident in like the blog side of SEO and stuff. YouTube had a lot of advantages because it was quick and easy to throw up a video. There was a kind of a barrier to entry again, with a lot of people being fearful of being on camera. So less competition to some degree, especially in the affiliate marketing space. There's a huge lack of like quality reviews and quality videos for the types of products that we use and promote, like ClickFunnels. And then it just seemed like just like a kind of simpler platform to get results. So I just started producing more videos. And let's see, 2016, and then I don't even know where we're at on the questions and stuff, or how this ties into one of those.
Anita is asking if you have an affiliate program. I'm answering yes.
Yeah, of course. No, where I was going with this, and I forgot how I was going to tie it into like your original question, because it was like 3 in 1. But at the end of 2016 was when I was able to like quit my job. So that was cool. And at the time, I wasn't making enough to really live comfortably, but I had enough success that I was like, you know what? I know what to do for the next 90 days to make up for the amount of money that I'm making at my job. And I did it. And I want to throw this in there because it's super important. That was the second time I tried working for myself in 2016. I'm luckily still self-employed, but the first time was in the fall of 2012. It was from Udemy courses, because I had noticed that I was making like $300-400 a month just from a handful of courses. Back then, you got paid a lot more commission for your courses, and Udemy's changed that since. But I was like, you know what, this is working. If I like do this full time, because I only had time to do it on the nights and weekends. I would make like a course each weekend, and I was like, man, if I had like 40 hours a week to do this, I could probably like get up to maybe like $1,000 a month. And that would be kind of close to what I'm making. And then if I got to 2 or 3, that'd be like that's way more money than I've ever made. And so I got out this huge loan in 2012. And if I would have just stuck to my plan, I would have made it. Because it was already something that was working. I was just literally scaling up something that was already working. I wasn't guessing. I just was going to create more content. But I got distracted, and at the time I had heard about this thing called like, hiring coaches and mentors, and I got kind of sidetracked by these high ticket coaches, and I blew all of the $15,000 on like stupid events and high ticket coaches that were like, some of them were valuable, some were scams, and I blew the money. And like,
are they still around?
Oh yeah, I don't want to mention them because I don't like to badmouth people. I'll tell people like in person, but I don't like to spread like bad karma and stuff. So the good thing is I recovered. It took me like 2 years to recover from one of those, but yeah, it sucks. Getting screwed and stuff, especially out of money that you really couldn't afford to lose, but you did. But the point in all this is like, if you just freaking put in the effort and stick to something, like that would have saved me. That would have shaved 6 years off my success. I may not have been doing SEO because at the time that was courses. So I'm sure I would have gone into more of I mean, I probably would have done some course. It may not have been SEO, but it would have basically, I would have been able to buy my freedom from my job 5 years earlier, which is what I just wanted from the beginning. And it was painful to have to go back to a job in like 6 months because, but I lacked the discipline. I'd never worked for myself. So I didn't know how to manage myself. And when I quit my job in 2016, I was like, I'll do whatever it takes. I'm never going back to a job. Like, I'll be disciplined this time. And I was, but yeah, just, man, you got to stick with this stuff and not get sidetracked, especially when you have something that's working. The hardest thing is figuring out that thing that clicks for you, because like I said, there's a million different ways to make money online that all work. You just got to pick one and stick with it. That until it makes you enough where you can, replace your 9 to 5. And then from there, you can start being creative and trying other things, but like stick with one thing until you make enough to cover all your living expenses first. And then you can do all this other stuff and try other things. Don't try to do SEO and Facebook ads and YouTube ads and create courses and all this stuff. Like, yes, like there's multiple streams of income. That's cool. But like, try to, if you're going for multiple streams, try to create like multiple streams of income in that niche or whatever. So like if you're doing Shopify, maybe create multiple Shopify niche stores or something. Or if you're running Facebook ads, promote multiple offers as Facebook ads. You don't have to do Facebook ads and something completely different, like, trying to be a content creator and then starting an authority YouTube channel. Like those are completely, it's all connected because it's marketing, but those are completely different platforms and mediums,
Yeah. So basically stay focused.
Stay focused. It's hard. I feel like it's taken me this whole year to get back to that, because the downside to having the course is that's you have customers now, and like I want them to be successful, but that takes away from me doing affiliate stuff, which is how I was even successful in the first place. It's hard to like do customer support plus continue to update the course and make sure it's relevant, plus also try to do my own affiliate stuff. Like I'm pulled in all these different directions. But it's worked out.
Well, it seems to be working pretty well. You still are small and you still have a really high margin. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Anita. Hey, Paul. Hey, Miko. Thanks for joining us. I'll get to your guys' questions. But yeah, #live if you're here live and #replay if you're here for the replay. I do have a giveaway. It's my Chrome extension, GroupConvert. So if you're here live, you get the light version. But yeah, it seems like what you're saying is just focus on one thing and see if it works, and then you can chase another shiny object, but make sure that, and I think that's like an emotional lesson or some kind of like internal lesson that I think a lot of people go through when they get onto the online world. They're looking everywhere because they don't have anything. And then, how?
Yeah, one of the thoughts I wanted to include when I was talking about like OMG and going to the live events was this is easier kind of said than done. People are talking about like, you got to take action, and it is the most important thing. But you do have to have a direction. Like, you can be taking a lot of action, but getting nowhere because you don't have any kind of direction towards goal of what you're doing. And what kind of frustrated me for the longest with SEO was that as I was going through all these courses, I knew I was getting closer and closer to having what in my mind was a complete picture of like a process that worked for me and that I could understand about SEO. Like, like I'm successful at SEO, my students are successful at SEO, and there's other people out there that make money with SEO, and we all do it a little bit differently because we all have our own little specific system. Like some people model me exactly and that works for them, great. But a lot of people, they're probably going to go through my course and other courses out there, and they're going to tweak it a little bit to make it work for them, however they want to. And I hadn't, it took me until about a year and a half or 2 years ago to finally it to click for me in a way that made sense to me. And I, distilled and kind of dumbed that process down so simple, to where I could, one, just kind of give me a clear direction, because I felt like for the longest time I had like 75% of the pieces, and I was like, man, I don't quite even know what I'm missing, but I know I'm missing something. Like I don't have that 100% confidence, like if somebody, like, yes, I'm making money, but like if I ran into somebody and they're like, oh, Greg's an SEO expert, I'm like, really can't say that, because like I don't really even know exactly what I'm doing. I do have some results, but now I'm like, yeah, I mean, there is still a lot of unknown stuff out there. Like I'm not, and I think that's just part of anything. Everything's always changing a little bit, and nobody knows everything, but eventually you try to focus on the 80% that is getting results, and you may never know or understand this other 20%, but you just kind of keep hitting that 80%, and you're like, hey, this is enough to pay all the bills and live a comfortable life. As much as I want to figure out the whole puzzle, I may not ever know the answers to these questions over here, and that's okay. Just like not all keywords are winners, and I'm not an expert copywriter, so not all of my videos or sales, pages or whatever are gonna maybe convert. Who cares? It's more like a numbers game, and you have enough content out there, and eventually you're gonna make some money. And the more content you have, the more money you're gonna make. So it's just like, you don't have to be the best. But you do have to be there. So
you have to be present.
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, Melvin says, drop the link already. We'll include a link to, Greg was like, don't link to certain courses. I'm like, okay. So I didn't link anywhere right now, but
you should use your affiliate link and then give your group, your plugin away for people that sign up for the course through your affiliate link.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sign up to the course through my affiliate link. But your course actually has a good deal. Kevin told me that if you make money...
Kevin's a liar. No, I'm just kidding.
You don't want me to say this, do you?
I'm just kidding. Yeah, say it.
Kevin says that you have an awesome deal on your course, and that is if you go through the material and you make $500, that you get a refund on the course or something. Is that right? I don't know.
Yeah, it's whenever you make your money back on the course, which right now it's $497. Because I want to incentivize people to take action, because most people that buy courses, I get it. Life gets in the way. You get busy with your job, kids, family, or whatever, and you just never do anything. But the whole reason that most people, I would think, are buying the course is because they want to make more money, or they want to, buy their freedom. And so I want to help them get there. And it has a couple different layers and reasons to why I do that. The main reason is because I want to get people to take action. I want testimonials, I want results myself, because I don't have to prove to myself that it works. I can just stop selling a course tomorrow and make money for the rest of my life, and nobody will have to know who I am. I don't care. But I want to help other people because this information can. And I, for a little bit there, I bumped it up to $997. But I just felt that since $997 is so close to $1,000, some people that are just starting out, I think that that's a little bit of an intimidating number maybe to some people. So I feel like, you know, most people that are going to invest in this course, they're probably pretty comfortable with $497, $500. They've probably seen, you know, even if they're getting paid, you know, $10 an hour, they're familiar with seeing paychecks of $400 a week, at least I would hope. And that's, you know, that's not a lot of money, but that's what they're used to. And so that is a decent amount, enough of money to, like, if you made $500, unless it just came from like one sale, that's, you know, probably going to be 2 sales or more of affiliate commissions. I think that's enough proof, enough evidence for the customer, the person taking the course, to let you know that, or communicate to you that, like, hey, like, what I'm doing is working. It's not like, this wasn't an accident. I didn't just get lucky. Like, this stuff works. And if you can make $500, then you can make $500 a month. And if you can make $500 a month, you can scale that up to $100 a day, which is kind of the ultimate goal of the course. Because, you know, most people, and still, I think in America at least, $100 to $200 a day, especially if you're making that passively, that's more money than they make at their job, which means they don't need a job anymore. And that's the whole goal for, I want to get people to that level, because that can just change a lot of people's lives, and then people will be spending more. It helps the economy overall. You know, it's good. It helps people, and it just, makes them more positive and stuff. You know, they say money can't buy happiness, but there's another quote out there that says most people that say that have never had money. You know, like, money, my life is a lot happier now that I make a lot more money. I'm not sad. I'm not broke. I travel and go eat where I want, you know, just freedom. It's awesome. Like, I love having money. It's a lot better than being broke. So it can't, I mean, there's only so much it can buy, sure, but it can keep you happy for a long time.
Hey guys, if you're watching, even if you're watching the replay, I do want to give you guys the deal that Greg suggested. I do have a link to his affiliate program, but what I'm going to do is include 2 lifetime accounts of mine, my GroupConvert extension. It helps. It's like GroupFunnels, but it has like 5 more features. It's way better. And it's retailing for $297, GroupFunnels, the competitors, for lifetime. So you get the same thing, but 5 more features, extra support. And if you get his course, through my link, you get 2 lifetime accounts, one for yourself and one you can give to someone else or sell it. If you sell it, it's
awesome.
Like, still a lot of value. So yeah, okay, awesome. Thanks. It feels like you're like the concept that I'm using for my own thing, like the Robin Hood, you know, like instead of, you could charge more, like $9.97, but you honestly want to help people change their life, and that kind of objective and that kind of goal it feels so heartwarming. And it's around Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I mean, it's just who I am. Like, I want, because you know, like, if I was to do a live event, I want as many people ideally to show up, and not for it to be a stretch for them. I want them to be able to show up and hang out because they have money now and stuff. Like, it's amazing to, you know, hang out with, you know, cool people that you have time, money, freedom. And it's, again, you don't have to be a millionaire to have an amazing lifestyle, but just have enough to, a little bit more to cover your basic expenses, and a little bit more on top of that, which, I mean, that's, for most people, that's even less than $10,000 a month, you know? And so you don't have to, that's like barely 6 figures a year, which that may seem like a lot to people until you get it and you realize not really, you know? So anyway, I want people to be happy, and, you know, I don't know, do more with their lives than just sit around and watch Netflix and go out drinking at bars and stuff. Like, I mean, that's fine if you want to do that some of the time, but, like, pick a bigger goal and stuff. And like that, having that time, money, freedom, and some passive income coming up, it frees up your mind and your time to focus on things that you're really passionate about, because you're not so worried about money. So yeah, it's awesome on a lot of different levels to be able to teach something that can help as many people as want to take the course. And I like creating like win-win scenarios. I know not every product or service that's for sale out there can have an offer like my course, but luckily it can. And there's a lot of ways that I make money on the back end, because, you know, people are wondering, how do you make any money at all if you give their money back? There's a lot of ways on the back end, but like, you know, there's a few little upsells, and those will evolve as more people go through the course and stuff. But the cool thing about it is like, they're more than willing to pay for any upsells in the future, because you change their life, and now they have the money to pay you more, which is like, that's where I want to get them. Like, I want to get them, you know, I don't ever want to feel like I'm taking. And I pretty much in all my courses, even the upsells, I try to, man, at least, like, if you give me $2,000, I want to almost immediately be able to give you $2,000 of like real world value back, like maybe a software that I sell for $2,000. So it's like, look, I just immediately gave you your money back. So this is a like win-win, and you can use the software to make more money. So like, I never want to feel like I'm taking from people. I just want to feel like I'm kind of enriching their lives and adding value.
Awesome. Hey, Don, thanks for joining us. Daryl says, wealth is amazing, riveting, and exciting. Thanks, Greg. Yeah, it's so awesome. To give you guys a picture of Greg's success, I kind of want to ask him monthly, how are sales? For those of you who have never heard of him, just know that, you know, earning money through SEO, getting started on his course is a possibility that will free your life. So he's freed his, you know, time and life. Could you care to give us like an idea of, you know, what SEO money is making you now?
Yeah, the big milestone for me, I think I hit it last May or something, was the 5 figures a month, $10,000. And that was just such a far off number for me, because even 3,000 was a lot for me to process a couple of years ago, because you just have to realize that was 3,000 is more money than I've ever been paid at any job. I've never made more than like about 22,000 a year before taxes. So after taxes is less. It's like, which is the poverty. Basically, if you looked at Google that, it's poverty. It's sad, because I have a job. Like, I'm trading my time for crumbs, and I, you know, I'm like doing the responsible thing. I had a job. It's not like I'm like living off the government or anything. And that's the most depressing thing in the world. And the only way to, like, I guess maybe get a little bit ahead is possibly get another job, which means you're exhausted at both of them, and you're probably barely getting by if you're living by yourself, and now you don't have any time to spend maybe the extra money that you're bringing in. So it's terrible. And so yeah, the 10,000 was a big milestone for me. But the cool thing about it, and what I get really happy that happened, was once I hit it, I've never gone below that, which was interesting. If you think about that, like just being able to produce that amount, not just once and say, oh, I made $10,000 one month. No, I made $10,000 every single month after that or more, which is crazy, because you recreated that. But a lot of that income comes from recurring incomes like ClickFunnels and some other subscriptions and stuff. So
Kevin's like, thank God I'm back to Wi-Fi. He was watching us buffer. But okay, so $10,000 a month last May, and then I kind of want to show the people how crazy your progress is since May, right?
Man, to be honest, I'm a little disappointed because again, it comes back to being like stretched through thin, and I guess we all go through periods of growth. So it's been kind of a lot of just running around and stretched too thin in the last couple months. So again, luckily I promote a handful of products that are recurring, like pay recurring commissions like ClickFunnels. So that's kind of helped keep me afloat. And I've had some better months. So, but they've all been above 10. Some now they're about 20. I've had a $30,000 and $40,000 month. So that was cool. But it's about the same, which like, it may sound awesome to some of the people on the call. You're like, man, I'd do anything for $10,000 every month. But it gets old, and you're just when you're in the same place for too long, and it's been too long. And because the more money you make, well, at least for me, I try to surround myself with people that are playing at the same level or higher. So as I surround myself with those people that are making millions and millions and millions, I'm like, man, like I'm like cheating myself. If I can make 10,000, I can make 50, I can make 100. Like I know what to do. But I'm just, what I'm doing from now until the end of the year is building the processes and the systems to facilitate that, because it does take some systems. Like you can just sort of throw stuff at the wall as a one-man show for a while to get to 10K, to be honest. But if you want to scale, to $1 million a year or something, you're going to have to figure out some different processes. What got you to the 10,000 is probably not quite the same system that's going to get you to 100,000. It's going to need to be tweaked, I feel, a little bit, because I don't feel like any person, unless you just never sleep or something, can build like 10 sites at a time. It's just too much to focus on. You need that outsourced to some degree, or delegated somehow. And that can be done, but you're going to have to build the processes for that. Otherwise, you're just going to stay kind of small, and or you may have to invest in some paid traffic. That a lot of people that are one man, two people teams and stuff make a lot of money with paid traffic just because the volume and stuff. But with SEO, you just I don't try to make $1 million in like one niche. That's what I love about SEO and really any product is, I just try to get like $1,000 over here, 10,000 over here, 10 over here. And even in, some of these niches that I'm in, like $10,000 a month is crumbs in these little niches. So nobody's messing with me, and it's not enough to, to have a lot of competitors. And I like it that way. I want to kind of fly under the radar and just make like, so if you want to, what I'm saying that is, so if you want to get to like 100,000 or $1 million a month, you can do that. I don't try to stress out about getting to like $1 million a month, though, solely from promoting ClickFunnels. Can it be done? Sure. But
oh, not $1 million a month. Never mind. That's like total.
Yeah, it's a couple 100,000 a month, I think. But good for him, and I'm gonna scale up to his level soon. But don't think that you have to make all that money in one niche, though. If your goal is to make a specific amount, don't stress out of like because maybe just I have an abundance mindset, but just maybe there isn't that much money to be made in that selling that particular product, but there is that much money in the world. So, and lucky, people buy more than that one product online. So like So what if you can only make 100,000 a month in ClickFunnels? Okay, well, to reach your goal of 1 million, then go sell mattresses, go sell clothes, go sell shoes, go sell something else that people also buy. Because, you know, there may just not be that much demand for ClickFunnels or whatever, even if you're promoting it in 1,000 different ways. So, yeah.
Yeah, I know in the e-commerce world, there's definitely a plateau to like an account just because of the numbers that come through. Like if you sell an Amazon product, I know some friends who do like 6 million a year, and maybe 10 million now, but like the most that they can push one product is probably like their sales plateau at 300,000 a month, and it's for some products, and you can't, no matter what you do with all the paid traffic and everything, you can't get past that. And there's just because of that particular niche, there is a plateau, and so
yeah, it's like
somewhere else.
My last job I was working at was in e-com, and we sold a lot of household items, mostly vacuums, but there's only so many Dyson vacuums you can sell in a month. Like, sorry, there's only so many people in the world, so
making only them and buying.
Yeah, so.
But digital product, it feels like it's endless, but maybe I'm wrong. Well, I guess there's only so many people interested in that particular niche at that year.
Well, you know, that was one of my questions to, you know, for the copywriters and stuff out there is I'm really curious how, if something converts really well, if it's a really high converting offer, like a particular weight loss offer, if it works so well, like, why do you have to change it? Because like the human mind hasn't changed. So if it works now, shouldn't it kind of in theory work forever? Pretty much that same message, because we're always going to respond to the same stuff. So, but it's like either the offer changes or maybe the product name changes or something. But that's an interesting topic to me, because you said you feel like the digital products seem endless. I know that they're not, because there's a finite number of humans on the planet, but it's like the same thing can be sold over and over and over again in different ways. So I guess in that sense, it's pretty much infinite, you know, because like, it's like, I don't like I guess a simple example is like business opportunities and MLMs and stuff. It's the same stuff again and again and again and again. It's just a different name. And everybody, they jump from Empower Network to like Easy One Up or whatever, and digital whatever, and then they go over here and then it collapses, and they go over here and it collapses, and you know, it's the same stuff that people are chasing and pushing and stuff. So in that regard and stuff, so it's interesting, all this marketing stuff. And yeah,
what's really interesting to me getting into, because I want to create a course too, and I started a wait list on one about Chrome extensions. And what's interesting to me is the like figuring out, wow, it is about emotion. And I was saying, oh, it has these features, but like that really doesn't matter as much. And I'm only beginning to like get into that and trying to understand that. For yourself, when you said when you did map time, right? You did a bunch of courses, and then that's how you are good at courses at affiliate SEO Domination. And my question to you is, did you have like a specific, you said it's a lot of things coming together, but I want to see if there's like a takeaway, or like something that you bought that you followed. Did you follow a particular thing, or I don't know. I can't really grasp like stuff melding together. That I can't really, I don't know how.
It's
I don't
weird.
know.
I mean, yeah, it's, I don't have like the greatest memory or whatever, but yeah, just it's, and I'm saying that because of all the stuff, because a lot of the stuff that kind of meshed together to form what I do now, it was, definitely months apart, but sometimes even years apart. And for whatever reason, maybe it's because the thing I was going through, it triggered the thing I did like 3 years earlier. And I was like, oh, cool. Like this, if I combine this with that thing I learned 5 years ago, I can create this new thing. And so, a lot of the things I teach inside the course, uh, just like most anybody on the planet, like that's teaching something, they learned a lot of the pieces from other people. It's like, I didn't know anything in the beginning, but
Yeah.
there are some uh, unique things, I guess, that I teach and those only came because of all these weird little connections and courses that I consumed over the years. And I guess it's unique because there's probably not another person on the whole planet that went through the exact little
Oh yeah, because your
combination of,
journey is your own. Yeah.
yeah. So I guess I'm the only one maybe that could make some of these connections, or the only one I know about that. So, yeah, I don't know if I had, I had a lot of aha moments and stuff. I know one of your questions was going to be something related to that. What the is that kind of a direction that you want to take this? Because
No, if it's like if it is your own journey and all of that, then that's the truth, right? That's the answer. You can't
yeah,
mold it into
unfortunately,
any other box or circle.
yeah, I feel like I'm a little jealous of some of these other like younger entrepreneurs and stuff in online marketing space. And I don't know their entire backstories, but as I would follow them over the years, what it seemed like happened was, they're like 19, maybe they failed a little bit, but they took this one course like a year later after getting started. It changed their life. And I was like, that's totally not what happened to me. I spent like 10 years going through, school of hard knocks in hell and just $50,000, $60,000 worth of credit card debt that I don't even know how I got into, because I don't even know how that's possible to get into when I'm making less than 20K a year, but it happened. So it was interesting, but we were talking about this before the call. It's I I think it's a good thing to put yourself in, kind of back yourself against the wall, because it forces you to get creative. And that's applicable in like all areas, but especially in regards to like finances and debt and things like that. Um, Hopefully, I don't encourage anybody to go into debt, but I think it can be a good tactic or a little strategy or whatever, because it forces you to get creative and like figure out a solution to get out of debt. And I think that's an important skill, because it comes back to problem solving, which is one of the most important skills you can have as a person, especially a business owner, entrepreneur. You're going to have to figure out stuff on your own. There are some things that you can Google and there isn't an answer for. So you have to figure out a solution, and there's nobody you can talk to. Sometimes there is somebody out there that knows the answer, but you don't know who that person is. So you just have to figure it out as best you can until you find that person. So I did like that about the, getting into debt and getting out of it, especially. But so my friend Tyler, who works for me now, when he came out to Austin last year, he didn't have anything really, and so he went into kind of debt to start paying his living expenses, which is never good because it compounds. And but he was like, oh man, I'm like $10,000 in debt. I was like, oh, that's nothing. So he was freaking out. He was like, I've been there. Like, I know it's nothing because I've been there and I made it out. It's nothing. And he's like, oh man, I've never been in debt. And he's like, just relax, man. I got you. And now he's making close to that a month, so it's a lot can change in a year if you have like the right, whatever information. And, so it's like this debt thing. It's not really real. Money's not real. We made it up.
It's all meta now.
It is. I mean, the more you learn about the monetary system, you're just like, man, it's so messed up that again, I'm not trying to go look whatever.
No, go where you want. Go wherever you want.
Take it there, but like it's sad that we spend most of our time trying to get money, only to figure out that it really doesn't mean anything. And it's like the big number for me was 10K a month. And once I hit it, and I hit it again and again and again and again and again, I don't care that much anymore. I'm sure I would care if I lost it all tomorrow, but not really, because I know how to make it back. So it's just really interesting how it's money matters until you have it, and then it doesn't. So it's kind of funny, but how that works. But just the advice I can share in regards to money, at least this was what helped me, was, in the beginning I was focusing on the money, which is never good. And it wasn't even clear. I didn't have a goal. It was just, how much money do you want to make, Greg? I don't know, more money. Well, that's not a very concrete amount, which meant I never hit it. I never made more because I didn't define what more was. But when I finally got clear on, like, you know what, I'm making about $1,200, $1,300 a month. I want to get to 3,000. That's not very far off. I want to get to 3,000, and then I hit it, and then I'm like, oh wow, I got to 3. If I could just like triple it, that's 9,000. That's really close to 10. That's only $1,000 off. And then I did that. And so just, you gotta get real clear on your goals, and you start with small ones, because I wouldn't want people to get discouraged and say, oh, I want to make $10,000 a month. Sure, it's achievable, and you can do it in probably 12 months or less, even with SEO. But like, shoot for that first $1, then the first 100, then the first 1,000. So maybe take it in increments of like 1 digit, 2 digit, 3, 4, and then 5. It's a lot easier to move up from there, because when you're making 10, well, you know exactly how to make 100. Just do it 10 more times. Like the path becomes a lot more clear once you kind of get those first results, and you're gaining confidence along the way. And yeah, so there's so much to say. It's messed up that everybody's got their own little journey. It's kind of messed up that it took me so long, but the last 2 years have been worth all the struggle, just because it's been amazing.
8 since 2012, right? Like 6. The last 2 years makes up for the last 6 years.
Yeah, it was, and yeah, for a lot of reasons. I guess I just treated it like a hobby for way too long, for whatever reason that sucks, because I was just delaying my success, and for no reason. And I just woke up one day and I was like, you know what? I need to go ahead and get to where I want to be, so I can stop, scrolling through my news feed and just envying the people that are on these vacations. I want to be that guy. So just make the money and make it happen. Stop, wishing and dreaming and stuff.
Stop wishing and dreaming. Out of every offer that I've seen out there, I think yours is the most compelling for people who are just starting, because it's not super expensive, but at the same time it has so many raving reviews, and at the same time, you, the creator, have a good heart about it. Like, that makes me feel like it's the most compelling offer that I've seen. It's not stacked upon with a lot of things, but it's like, hey, I want to free you from this, and this course is, a lot of, read through a lot of experience, a lot of work to simplify things for you, and you get your money back if you actually make money. And it's like, wow, that's that's a really good deal. So
Yeah.
thanks
It's just,
for
it's cool. I'm very, I've over the last year, there's going to be some changes made to it. Cause again, it's not perfect. It was good when I launched it and it works still, but things change. I've got better and different processes. So I'm going to make some updates to it here, hopefully soon, but maybe before the end of the year, just to help hopefully people get results faster and easier and stuff. Cause the faster and easier I can move them through the process and get them to that first 500, the more confidence they're going to have. And, ideally the more money that they're going to make after that and stuff. So just the faster I can move them through that pipeline, the better, because the sooner they'll change their life.
All right, let's wrap. We've been talking for almost an hour and a half. I don't want to keep you here forever, but it's like, I really want to hear what you have to say, and I really want the audience to have the time to hear it. Hey guys, thanks for still sticking around. Hey Anita. Anita says the debt weighs heavily when you don't have enough. It's lots of pressure, and it's hard to imagine anything else that matters when you're broke. She says she's almost at 10 grand, but not yet. Oh my gosh, Anita. Hey Rob, and if you're still here live, guys, #live, and about my offer, the offer is only probably gonna be, let's have a deadline or something. I don't know, or maybe not. If you buy Greg's course, oh, what were you about to say?
Let me suggest, since we're about to be here on Black Friday, how about maybe midnight at some kind of time zone on Cyber Monday?
Okay.
You're Pacific. Usually it's Eastern, but maybe midnight Eastern time zone. That way we'll have a plug in, throw in some scarcity there, and it sounds like a good offer.
Yeah, because the equivalent to what I offer right now on the market is $297 to even get it. So, and that's for lifetime. I'm providing it. I'm charging only $197, which is like $100 less. But you get 2 of that, so multiply that by 2 if you get Greg's course.
That's awesome. So you can make your money back with mine, and you can sell the other copy of yours, so you can make money from this offer.
You can actually profit. You can profit. Yes. All right, you guys. Hey Kevin, thanks for still being here. Thanks for hashtagging still live. That's so cool. All right. I feel like if I ask all the rest of my questions, we'll be here.
You might as well just get them in if you want to.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
We've been here 2.5 hours, I think, or something.
No, it's 1.5, 2.5 hours.
One. Okay.
I do want to ask the questions if we're still here. So the platforms you sell on, this is like a kind of, and guys, if you have any questions, ask Greg. But this is a question for me because I'm getting time with you, and I'm like, I won't get that much time with you all the time.
Take advantage.
The platforms you use to host your courses on, what are they? And I stalked you on the internet, so I know certain platforms, but like, do you recommend just putting your course everywhere on all the platforms? Like, you have it on Gumroad. You have it on Udemy, and you have it on another platform, like, I forgot the other one. But like, what do you suggest?
I'll give you the reason. I'll give you the reason behind all that. So some of it's just kind of like, always be testing. I'm always kind of experimenting. What are the advantages and disadvantages of different platforms? So each of those that you mentioned, Gumroad, and then like Teachable, Thinkific, Kajabi, they all have their pluses and minuses. And so I'd sell. So one of the advantages of selling on, or a couple of different advantages of selling multiple platforms, is you're just in more than one places. So kind of like with the long tail keywords, or like say if you took you created content about long tail keywords, like all the ClickFunnels keywords, and you did it for one YouTube channel. Well, if you want to get double the traffic, in theory, go create another channel for the same topics. So I call that a content stretching, where you just take the same kind of content and you spread around multiple platforms. And this is what I did with courses that I was teaching on Udemy. I've spread them around to other platforms like Skillshare and Stack Skills. And you're just squeezing more potential profit out of the same content. So you're not working harder because you're not redoing another course. It's the same course on multiple platforms. And it's just kind of like selling. So the cool thing about my last job was it was neat to have one foot in the affiliate marketing, make money online space. That's what I was doing on nights and weekends for myself. And then in the daytime, I would come and work for this e-com company. And I saw a lot of similarities that and a lot of overlap that probably not a lot of people see. And one of those things was this idea of marketplaces. In the e-com space, most people are familiar with like eBay and Amazon. That's all they talk about. eBay and Amazon, mostly Amazon. Well, those are just, those might be the big players, but a lot of people don't know this. A lot of consumers don't know this, that Walmart has a marketplace. Overstock has a marketplace for third-party sellers, not just, Overstock, but Jet.com, Zulily, Rakuten, Newegg. Those are all marketplaces. Sure, Newegg sells their stuff, but it's a platform for third-party sellers to sell their stuff. So like we had with vacuum cleaners, we had a interesting product that was available. It kind of lend itself to all those marketplaces. So they have this terminology. It's called like multi-channel selling or omni-channel. And so I saw that happening. I was like, you know what? Like the same thing's happening in like, internet marketing, with courses, with ebook platforms. You got Kindle, but Kindle's just, the biggest and best known. There's other ebook platforms that are marketplaces. And the advantage of marketplaces is they already have traffic. So you're not having to, it's another example of literally just being there. The cool thing about YouTube is, this is one of the things I forgot to mention, is it is kind of in essence a marketplace. It already has traffic, people already hanging out on YouTube. Whereas with a website, it's just sort of out here by itself, and you have to do the hard work of creating content or sending links to that site to boost it up so that you get traffic. But YouTube is already, people spend hours there, and they can find your videos all sorts of ways from just being on YouTube. They don't have to be searching for you. So let's see, help me out here. So
YouTube.
Yeah, it does with the platform. So I want to give people a lot of there's a lot of things happening with these platforms. So you asked me why I'm in different places. So one has to do with the SEO side of it. So like, why would I sell my same course on Thinkific, Teachable, Kajabi, and another platform? It's because, let's just say somebody typed in SEO affiliate domination and I didn't have any affiliates. Well, now I've got 4 possible places they'll probably be ranking and indexed in Google, that they can find me. So I don't care where they get it, and especially if it's the same price. They may think, oh, I'm going to get it from this Kajabi platform, or I'm going to get it from Teachable. Who cares? It all comes back to me. So saturating, the search engines so that you have multiple positions. But where I sell the main course now is Kajabi, and I was using Teachable before. And the reason I switched to Kajabi was because they all claim to be kind of a all-in-one platform. It's a place to not just create courses, but allows you to have affiliates and also kind of a blog element. So that's the one thing that ClickFunnels is missing is they have a membership site platform. It's very basic. It's very simple. It's good, but I wanted an authority site for the course. And since the course is about SEO, I wanted it to have a decent blog element to it that I could use to help drawing organic traffic to sell the course, which is about how to get organic traffic. So yeah, it's just big circle, like inception thing going on. But the reason I switched to Kajabi was because it's not like WordPress, their blog feature, but it was a lot better than Teachable. So I was like, man, I can't, just the designer in me, I can't freaking deal with this feature that Teachable calls a blog platform, which is not very good. So Kajabi's not, they're not everything. They do a lot of things good, but there's a lot of things that are kind of still missing. But it had enough of things to it, it could deliver. I could accept payments. I could store my videos and stuff, and I could also create a blog. So that's why I'm on Kajabi. But yeah, every platform unfortunately has their pluses and minuses. So you just have to kind of experiment and find the one that you like the best. And it's a little bit frustrating to hop from platform to platform, especially when you have students and you're like, okay, we're moving to another platform. It's stressful, but sometimes you have to do that. But that's
so after a lot of trial and error, you like Kajabi, but you're still on the other. Maybe I don't know. You said you're not on Thinkific or you're not on Teachable anymore, so you don't like Teachable.
I still have the courses there, but yeah, and I uploaded it to Thinkific too. But I want to make this distinction too. So these are Thinkific, Teachable, Kajabi, those types of platforms. Those are the types of platforms that I'm going to sell my own stuff on. So I don't want to water down the value, and we can kind of talk about the Black Hat site in just a minute in regards to that. The other platforms that are the marketplaces like Skillshare and Udemy, they've unfortunately.
What about Lynda?
Lynda's different because it is I don't think it's really a marketplace because they control who contributes last time I checked. So it's very high quality videos and tutorials, and I guess they like to maintain that. Whereas with Udemy, it's sort of anybody can make a course. And with the marketplaces, I don't care. It's more about volume than it is making $100 from one course. In the early days of Udemy, it was great because the course instructor got 70% to 80% of the sale price, and they didn't butcher their own marketplace. But now they've trained their audience so much that, I can get all the courses for $10. And if it's not $10, I don't want to pay that. That's the stupidest thing. Sure, you're going to get your customer acquisition is going to go up, but the value of the whole marketplace went down. So when, again, you can still make a lot of money with those platforms, but I used to make a lot more money with less courses. Now you have to have, probably a lot of courses to make a little bit, which is a little frustrating because it was when Udemy first came out, I was I was kind of a nobody. Like I started there, and I was a little baby affiliate marketer at that point, but it had a lot more prestige to it. It was kind of like the ClickFunnels Dream Car Award. Like if you had a course that you were teaching on Udemy and someone found you, like people used to treat me like, a king, as a beginner, because they're like, I came across your course, like you're an instructor. And I'm like, yeah, kind of. Like this is my first course. And they used to just, you're positioned kind of as an expert. But over the years, as Udemy just watered down their marketplace with their, diluting their prices and stuff, it doesn't have, it just kind of, that prestige sort of died, which sucks because it doesn't carry as much weight as it used to. So saying all that, the marketplaces is more about volume. So when Udemy did that, I was like, you know what? That's when I started stretching my content to other marketplaces. I was like, I don't care to make $10,000 from one course. That'd be great if that happens, but I just want to be in all the marketplaces because I see it as a pretty effortless multiple streams of income leveraging the same content that I've already recorded. So I just spread it around the multiple marketplaces and repurposed it. And it's like I haven't touched my courses on Udemy for a couple of years now, and I still make money every month from Udemy, Skillshare, Stack Skills. It's super consistent, and it's great. Like aside from SEO, it's kind of frustrating because it's so easy to make money, and there really aren't that many courses that I see that are like killing it, selling this information that, hey, you should be creating courses, because it's one of the easiest ways to make it's definitely your first $100, but you can absolutely get to $1,000 a month still. And the best part about it is it's almost as good or better than some affiliate programs, because like, let's just say you hit $1,000. I feel like as soon as you get to 1,000, you're probably going to stay at 1,000. It's weird how it works, but once you crack that level, it may fluctuate between 1,000 and 700, but for most people, that's still a good month when you're starting out. So anyway, so hopefully that answers some of those marketplace questions and the platform questions. There's a lot of little reasons why I do the things I do, and sometimes it's more than one reason, but hopefully that answers some of them.
Oh yeah, it does. Do you use webinar, JM? Do you try to run any evergreen thing where it's like you watch the webinar and at the end they pay for it? Or it's because it's so available everywhere you don't do that? I don't know. I haven't gone through any webinar you have.
Yeah, I do have a webinar for the course, but I honestly, I just haven't spent enough time to run the traffic and test it. I should probably do that because it works. So
yeah, I've seen a lot of people, they run like a Facebook ad to a webinar course, and the webinar runs every single, like it would be 15 minutes after they click on it, and it will run, and then the price shows up.
And you don't even need Webinar Jam for that. You can do that with CF Pro Tools. It's the same. Yeah, you don't need Webinar Jam for that.
Really?
Yeah, it's got a little script that's that 15-minute, every 15-minute timer thing. They've got that in there. I think that's the same guy. I'm pretty sure he works for ClickFunnels now, or does some work for them. And I want to say he probably is the one behind that did all the tools for Funnel U or something like that, I think. But I would just go with like CF Pro Tools, because it's got a lot of interesting little add-ons and scripts that you can plug into ClickFunnels to make it do cool stuff. And that what you're talking about, like the funnel hacks webinar, that little on that landing page, you can you can do all that without Webinar Jam. So, but Webinar Jam, you know, I know a lot of successful marketers that use it, or Ever Webinar, one of those, and I guess it has a lot of features that are beneficial for selling things, because they wouldn't use it for no reason. So
Omar says he's back. Hey, Omar. Welcome back. So Greg was telling us about SEO Pro Tools, Webinar Jam to make it evergreen, and he might start doing that. I mean, did you start it and then you stopped, or you didn't even start?
I didn't really start. I made the webinar, and yeah, it's just, yeah, it comes back to taking action. You know, you just gotta stick with it. But like, my hesitation with paid traffic is like, again, you have to pay money to test, and like, I'm so comfortable with SEO, and even though I have to spend my time to test something with SEO, I'm not losing money, and it's just painful. It sucks, but like, and the passive income is really nice. So it's, but if you want to scale and scale fast, paid traffic is definitely the way to go. But obviously that takes the same amount of commitment. You know, you're not going to probably hit a grand slam on your first ad. And in order to be consistent, and you're going to need to test things, and to test things, you're going to need money. So where are you going to get the money? You know, you can get it from SEO. So SEO is a great place to start to get a budget if you do want to, you know, segue into paid traffic, because, you know, especially if you're not getting the ideal place to start anything like SEO or paid traffic, online marketing, doing your own business, is to ideally be in have a little bit of a budget each month. If you're in a job right now that even $200 to $300 a month, if you are able to kind of, you know, send that towards a business that you can just kind of pretend like it's not there, you're gonna treat it as an expense, like your cable TV or something, or if you're spending $200 right now on cable that you're not watching all the channels, then freaking redirect some of that money, cancel those subscriptions for 6 to 12 months to give you a budget to work with. That's the best situation, because you're going to need some money somehow. Even with SEO, yes, you can do like a lot of stuff manually, but it's going to get to the point where you're like, I kind of want some tools to like make my life easier. Well, the good tools aren't free. So where are you going to get the money? You know, so.
Yeah, last time I checked for my own business, I was using 21 different tools, and they're all monthly reoccurring costs. And I'm like, oh my God, but they're all necessary, like all of them.
Yep.
Can't cancel any of them.
Yeah, you just got to get comfortable with that, and you got to find a way to make that money and just see it as an expense, just like everything else that's important in your life that's a subscription, like your cell phone. You know, nobody ever cancel their cell phone. Well, you got to get that way about some of your subscriptions with your business, because they are going to make your life easier and give you more time.
Yeah, time is what you're buying. I'm buying time back. But yeah, yes, that's why they're worth it. Yeah. All right, cool. So I think I can answer. Hey guys, thanks for still sticking around. Hey Cal just joined, and hey Kevin. Kevin is the one who said SEO gives him extra taco dollars. So Greg, if you were to lose everything now and everything, just lose all your courses, everything's gone, you would probably start back the same way, right? Like you would do SEO. I don't know. First, I'd kill myself. I'm just playing.
No. Yeah, I'd. You know, it's funny when Kevin came here to Austin a couple weeks ago, and me and him and a friend Matt were hanging out, and you know, we get this question a lot. It's just like, hey, I want to make money, but I don't have any money. It's like, go get a job then. Go get a job first. You need cash flow So so that's what I would do. You either go get a job or you go get clients. So you got to have cash flow somehow. And so go get a job so you get some money to live and eat and stuff. And then, yeah, I would hustle until I had enough to buy maybe again, life just keeps getting better. Yeah, I would make enough to where I could buy my course, my own course that I don't have anymore because I lost it. And it's so great because like they have netbooks now. They're like $200. So, just to be able to get on the internet and check email and start a blog and stuff, you can do that, I think, with netbooks. And so save up a couple $100, get one of those little guys, go to a coffee shop, bum the internet off them until you can afford it or whatever yourself, and probably buy a domain and some hosting that's only going to cost a couple of bucks a month, and you can use tools like keywordtool.io to get some keyword suggestions, sign up for some affiliate programs, start creating content, and I promise, like within it's a slow growth in the beginning, but I'm sure I'd probably see my first sale within the first 30 days, and then by the end of the 60 days, I would probably be making a couple $100 easy, and then probably by the end of 90 days, I'd probably be close to my first 4-figure month. And so that may sound like a long time or whatever, like, man, 90 days, it's like, feels like 180 when you're broke and hungry. But the cool thing about building up like these SEO properties is if you're, especially if you're doing it like a non-spammy way, is that it's like, let's just say that, by the end of 9 days, I got like my first 4-figure payout. The next month, I'm probably going to get at least 3 just passively. And then the next month and next month and next month, just because like I'm there, I'm not just going to disappear usually. And then, yeah, usually. And so that's the cool thing. You're not having to recreate the money every single month, like maybe a sales job or something, or a regular 9-to-5. You're not having to re-earn the money all over again. You're building upon what you've already created. So you're just adding to it, which is awesome. So, maybe this month it's 1,200, next month it's 14, the next month it's 21. So it's just sort of compounding. So yeah, I personally, I do SEO again. A really fast way to get some cash flow if you don't want a job is to go get clients. I just don't have like I don't know, I can't figure out the recipe for working with clients and managing clients, but that is a fast way to be self-employed if you don't want a job, and to get a decent amount of cash flow. And there's all kinds of things you can figure out to do. But you know what? I would go this route too. Now that we have all these technologies and apps and stuff, dude, there's like, you can fill up your day, especially in a city like Austin, and you're in California, with all these little service apps. So between the Ubers and the Lyfts and the Wags, so you can walk people's dogs, you can care for people's kids, you can drive people around. So like if you have a car, if you have time, like you can create your own income stream from solutions like that exist. So it is kind of a job, but you're not tied to it. You can choose whenever you want to work and stuff. So you can become a nanny, you can walk people's dogs, you can drive people to the airport or wherever. You can deliver stuff with Favor and Grubhub or whatever, and all these apps and stuff. So like there's, I guess my a big tip, especially if you're in a small town, is freaking try to save up enough to move to a bigger town, because there's more opportunity there.
So funny.
Like people, like
Okay.
that's what my friend Tyler did, and now he can use that as part of his like testimony and story and stuff because he picked up and he didn't, and it wasn't just him. He has a family, wife and a kid, and so if he can do it, anybody can do it. And the reason I say that is because where we're from a small town in Mississippi, which is only about 30,000 people. There's not a lot of job opportunities there. So while he was searching for a job for like 2 years, I was like, dude, just come out here to Austin. Like, first off, I'll do my best to help you, get your field in the ground and I'll show you what I'm doing. But if you suck at it or if you fail miserably, at least you'll be in Austin. Like Dairy Queen pays $12 an hour, like, which is more than what he was getting paid at back home for working at a non-Dairy Queen job. And I was like, you got hundreds and thousands of jobs here in Austin to fall back on. Whereas, you got like the ocean of opportunity out here. Whereas that, you just sort of have to take what you can get in a small town. So, man, you can always move back to a small town, but you may want to move to where there's more opportunity if you're struggling to find that, or like, there's just a lot of things that are limiting and hold you back in a small town. Like I'm pretty sure the fastest internet we can get in our hometown is like 200 megs, maybe. And I'm not like a super nerdy tech person, but like that's the max. And you pay more for that than what I pay out here for more. So I get faster speeds for less because Austin's super techy city. We have like fiber, like, I'm sure out in every like town, county in California and stuff. We just have fast internet out here and stuff, but not in a small town. So like there's a lot of things that hold you back. So it doesn't take that much to like pick up and move. I picked up and moved out here myself too. I like in the craziest way possible or whatever. Like I didn't have a job. I didn't have a apartment. I'd never even been to Austin. I literally just loaded up my car, drove out here, and with enough savings to like get by, and it was super naive to get by for 3 months. And I was like, well, I'm going to get like a really short-term lease in an apartment for 3 months, which is like the lowest amount of lease you can get. And I'm either going to make it happen or not. And if I fail, I'll just go back home and live with my parents. But thank God I made it happen somehow. And, still here 8 years later. But I literally just packed up everything and moved because in the hopes and the anticipation of like more opportunity, because I was like, man, there's nothing here in this small town. And I can always come back here. There's nothing happening here. Like, I mean, even when I go back now to visit, I'm like, still nothing happening here. I'm glad I left. It's, but since I've been in Austin, all these things are changing in Austin. It's awesome. But, like it's like you go back to Mississippi and some of these small towns, and it's like, turn your clock back 200 years because you're in like a little time bubble there. Nothing's changed.
So you're saying you can always make it work, get a job. And Omar actually had a question. He said that he doesn't think he can afford hosting with his paycheck. And Kevin just answered, like, you can get it for $10 a month. You can get hosting for $10 a month. And,
okay, if you can't afford hosting, probably shouldn't assume, but let's just say you have a laptop or a computer. Hopefully you have a webcam. Make some YouTube videos. I don't have editing software. Okay, there's a site called Loom. I think it's useloom.com. Ta-da! Just hit record. It's free, and you can make some videos and download them and upload them to YouTube. And if you want to give me another excuse that like you can't afford a computer or laptop, well, then you probably have a cell phone. It's most likely a smartphone. You can record a video on there and upload it to YouTube through your phone. So, there's excuses, a million of them, but there's always solutions. So you can use, use those keyword tools I mentioned, create relevant content to those keywords, match it up with a relevant affiliate offer, maybe start with a YouTube channel, and then from there, get you your $10 a month coming in from your affiliate commissions, buy the hosting, and now you're in business. You just got to do what you got to do. You know, $10 a month. I mean, come on, you can, if you're in a big city like Austin, I can literally find $1 a day on the ground. So that's $30. So
Oh my gosh.
it's, you know, it's a million excuses, you know. There's kids selling lemonade, man, and they're making more money than that. So come on.
No, I think Omar wasn't aware that it was $10 a month. I think he can afford $10 a month, but I'm glad that he shows up for this, because then he knows, like, oh yeah, you can afford hosting.
I'm not trying to talk down or anything. Just there's get creative. There's a lot of solutions out there, and if you're not in an environment that like helps foster those, then try to do what you can to move to an environment that has that. Like I lucked out with Austin because not only is it a amazing city for a million different reasons, but it just happens to also have a ton of different very successful internet marketers here, which is just a blessing because there's a lot of big cities out there, and I'm sure there's a lot of marketers in cities like New York and Chicago and LA and stuff. But Austin's cool because it's a big city with a small town feel, and I just feel it's very, very connected, especially in the communities that I run with. And there's a lot of people that come together for specifically like internet marketing, make money online stuff here, and it's awesome. I don't know if you.
I think on a previous interview you mentioned like Ryan Dice came from there, or is there?
He is there, yeah. Ryan Dice, Ryan Levesque, Perry Belcher, Mike Dillard, Mike Chang, the folks from Six Pack Abs here are here. The Internet Marketing Party is where most of them hang out each month. Yeah, there's a ton of successful marketers and a lot of guys and girls names that you would know and recognize that live here. They're not like a lot of people come to maybe like a conference or something to speak, and then they go back home to wherever their home is. But a lot of these marketers I mentioned, they live here. So and they're usually only like 1 or 2 degrees away from people that I know. So if I really want to get some FaceTime with them, then, I can do that.
That is so crazy. Well,
yeah,
go ahead.
And one of the best, and you may be wondering like, well, how do you convince these people to actually want to even let you buy them lunch and stuff, because their time's so valuable? Start doing stuff. Start, making some ripples and getting some results in your area so that you have something to talk about, and go out there and learn something. And you've heard of like learn, do, teach. So learn something, implement it, and then, get some results and then teach about those. And, just help the next people along there searching for that. But if these people that are that have achieved great things, they want to be around similar people that have achieved or are on the path to achieving things like this. And one of the so many like little life hacks and stuff to get to kind of hack authority and stuff. And this is one of the simplest ways. Interviewing people, because most people will be open to an interview, and even some people that you might think are not accessible to you and stuff, and it instantly passes credibility and authority to the interviewer, and like vice versa, it makes me look like an authority because you want to interview me and stuff. And you do that enough times, and it's like all of a sudden now you're popular and you're just the interviewer, but you're like, well, you always interview cool people. You must be cool. And all you did was ask them questions. And it helps you too, because you can ask them the questions that you want to know anyway. And it doesn't come across as you picking their brain, because it kind of feeds their ego too, because they're like, it builds them up, and they're like, oh, you know, I'm an authority and this or whatever. So
But
you
are
get
an authority figure.
yeah, but you get it's interviewing somebody is better than saying, hey, can I hop on a free 30-minute call and like pick your brain? I'm like, no, where's the value for me? Like, I love helping people, but I like helping people kind of on my terms. Like, if I want to give somebody some money or some assistance, I'll do it. But don't, like, I don't know, you just have to ask me in the right way. But an interview is definitely a way that I usually say yes. And I would think most other people will too. And that's sort of like YouTube and on steroids. So if you want to know one way to build up an authority channel for yourself, and you don't feel comfortable maybe doing launch jacking, or you don't have you don't like your personality or whatever, you don't think you're very interesting, start interviewing people, and that builds up its own authority, because so you can reach out to some of these product creators and interview them about their product and stuff. So you're taking advantage of the launch. It's launch jacking, but you're not the one being like, you should buy this product, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's like you get some sit down time with the product creator and like, hey, tell me a little bit about the product and like why you created it. And so you're giving a lot of value to people that are searching for these during the launch, because most of the other affiliates out there, they're not going to interview the product creator. They're just creating some little simple video that's like a screen share, and they're like, well, it says here on the sales page that this is about this, and yeah, you should buy it, and like, here's my crappy bonus. And so it doesn't take a lot to stand out, really, at all.
Kevin says that the internet marketing party was an awesome experience, but you weren't down to pillow fight. Okay, good to know. Thanks, Kevin. And Omar says, yeah, no excuses. So, yeah, no excuse. $10 a month. That's like not going out for coffee or something in California. So expensive here.
Damn, your coffee's expensive.
Well, yeah, it's around $5. But then if you are lactose intolerant and you switch the soy, and then you add another shot or whatever, it can get up there. But yeah, so you guys, if you were to lose everything and you can't afford hosting, and there's YouTube, there's use Loom, and there's so many ways. And Greg actually, like, he says you can interview if you want to talk to people who aren't so accessible, and that's the method I'm using. Like, I want to talk to Greg, but I'm not just going up to him and saying, hey, can I give you a call? It's like, hey, I have an audience, and more people will watch the replay, and I have a product. I didn't say all that to him. I think the trick is keep it simple too, because I have approached people and I would write something long, and then they wouldn't really reply. So if I'm like, hey, can I interview you? It's really short. Then they're like, okay. And then I'm like, what about this date? And they're like, okay, sure. But if I'm like, like vomit, they're like, oh, who is this person? This person's weird. I'm staying away from this person. But
yeah, it's just a matter. Yeah, it's just it takes too much time to read all that and stuff, and everybody's busy. So okay. And then you can kind of stair step your way to the people that you really want to meet. So like if you wanted to meet like Tony Robbins, you just gotta do your research. Like, what are some of the people that interviewed Tony? Okay, what's the person that interviewed Tony? And then you just kind of reverse engineer the funnel, and you like, Tim Ferriss maybe interviewed Tony. Well, who interviewed Tim? Maybe it's Ryan Holiday. Okay, Ryan Holiday lives in Austin. Who's somebody I know in Austin that knows Ryan Holiday? Okay, what some of it knows that guy. And then so you start at the bottom, maybe you start at like the friend of Ryan Holiday. And then because he's friends with Ryan Holiday, he refers you to Ryan. And now you're like 2 steps away from Tony. And then from Ryan, you go to Tim. And then from Tim, you're like, come on, Tim, please, 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 like refer me to Tony. Like I just want 10 minutes with him. And then he'll be like, okay, like maybe he'll say yes. And then that's how it happens. You don't have so don't think that your goals are so far off, or like, people like Tony Robbins or some idol of yours is inaccessible. You just gotta, it's all about relationships. Like you interviewed Kevin first. Kevin's a student of mine. So, I don't really see it like that, but he's a success story. That's kind of how I see Kevin. And so and because you interviewed him, it's like now interviewing the course creator that Kevin went through. And then from here, you could, I know a lot of people, so that a good way, if you're working your way up the ladder and you don't maybe have any ideas for the next person, is to just ask the person you're interviewing. It's like, hey man, I really enjoyed, thank you for your time. I really enjoyed, you gave me the opportunity to ask you a few questions. Are there any other people that you highly recommend that you could refer me to that would also be open to an interview? And then ta-da, you just got your next foot in the door for that next lead, which could lead to somebody else also. So just kind of keep asking that that question, I guess, at the end of each interview, because you never know who they're connected to.
Yeah, maybe I have no idea. I don't. Yeah. For me, so far, I just ask, and then they say yes, or they don't say anything at all. But so far, it's surprising. It's like 9 out of 10 people I ask, and then the 10th person would be like, "Oh, I can't now, but maybe in a month." And then in a month, they're there, or everyone shows up, and it's because I'm asking people like you who are responsible and show up and are successful, and actually it's like the best type of people. They respect your time, they respect their own time, and they're willing to give value to the community. So it's really awesome. But I'm gonna try your method, maybe on you, Greg. Hey Greg, yeah. Do you know anyone you could connect me with who won't be like, Kim, you crazy? But yeah. All right, so yeah, that's my last question, and I don't have more questions than that. And you guys, thanks for sticking through all this time. That's so cool. You guys are so awesome. Again, Black Friday deal, Cyber Monday deal, okay? Get Greg's course through my link, and you will get what's 197 times 2. Man, I just always need to pull a calculator.
Was that 394? I don't know.
Times 2 is 394. Ooh, good job. And then plus 497. So you're getting an $891 deal by getting Greg's course. And if you are successful, you get the $500 back, and you could sell your extra account so you could make a profit.
Bang.
Dang, that's a good Cyber Monday deal. Better get it. Yep. Come on.
And you walk away with a new skill that can continue to make you money. So it's pretty cool.
The selling point is you will change your life. You will have freedom. You will have the ability to enjoy the vacations you want. And many others have done his course and is successful. Kevin bought a house. So yeah.
Yeah.
What other testimonial? I'll add this as the screenshot. You go like this and we go like this. All right, you guys. Thanks so much. Oh, let her interview Dylan. I'd like to listen to his. Okay. Whoever. Dylan? Okay. I don't know everyone's name in this field. I know Ryan Dice because I follow his stuff for a long time. Digital marketer.
I don't know who was that said that. I guess it's just talking
Kevin.
about Dylan.
Kevin was
Dylan.
Dylan's last name.
Oh, Dylan Carpenter. Yeah.
Dylan Carpenter.
Okay.
Dylan.
Yeah. He does Facebook ads. He used to work for Facebook, and now he runs Facebook ads for clients. So interesting. And it all happened in a year. So, you know, another example of somebody I'm kind of jealous of. I wish my success had come as quick as his, but whatever. Everybody's got a different story.
You know what I've noticed? I've noticed if you're stuck in your own little bubble and you don't talk to people who are super successful like you don't realize the amount of work you need to put in. Like, you think that your pace is okay, and then you talk to someone who, you know, condensed many years or are actually successful, and they're like putting out content. They're like, well, yeah, that's what you gotta do. And then you realize you're like, oh my gosh, it's like 10 times as much as what I used to do and what I think it is. It's like a lot more volume, you know? That's my insight.
That's actually probably one of the most valuable nuggets of this whole call. That's pretty good. Because it is that way. It's like, and because that's, everybody wants to focus on, you know, this and the sexy, like how sexy this seems or whatever, but it's a result of hours and hours and hours, years of my life. Like, I don't go out really anyway, but definitely not going out on nights and weekends and stuff for years. And, you know, a lot of sacrifice and reading a ton of books, listening to podcasts and interviews like this, just consuming a whole bunch of different media and content and stuff, and just distilling that down into little bullet points and nuggets and taking action on those things. And you know, sometimes you may have to watch a 2-hour interview or something to get one nugget that's buried like 3/4 of the way in there, and that's the whole thing that changed everything for you. A lot of the things that you know, some of the there's only a handful of these people, but there's always going to be your haters out there that say bad things about, you know, the stuff that you're trying to do. And so there's been people that are like, oh, I feel like everything that Greg teaches you can learn for free online. It's like, I can't, like, maybe that's true. I don't really believe that, but to some degree they're right, but good luck trying to go find it. You're going to spend probably longer than it took me to find it. Like, good luck on finding those secret webinars and, you know, buried content wherever it is. I don't even know where all the stuff is that I've consumed over the years. But yeah, go knock yourself out. You know, try to go through your own little school of hard knocks and see how long it takes. Or you can just buy my course and save yourself 7 years. You know, your choice. So.
That is great testimonial for your own course. And I strongly believe it from what everyone's saying. But if you have haters, you made it, you know, Greg. You need.
I guess we can circle that back around to the Black Hat thing. So yeah, if you want to like Google the course, it's on a couple of Black Hat sites, which I just take that as like, you know, I earned my stripes, I made it. Because if your content, if your course or whatever you're putting out there is good enough that people want it for free and are willing to like steal it and rip it off, dude, you're doing something right. Like, your content's good enough that people, like, you know, they want to steal it. So
yeah. But don't steal it. Ethically purchase it, please.
Well, you know, I will say I borrowed this from Alex Becker a couple of years ago, and it stuck with me because, you know, in the world of digital marketing and courses and stuff, sure, your stuff's going to get stolen and ripped off and borrowed and stuff, and that's fine. But when it comes to if you have just a course and there's no engagement, or Facebook group or help or support, it's whatever. If it's stolen 100%, and maybe you'll get exactly what's in the course. But when you're building, if you focus on building a community like ClickFunnels is kind of done, there's a community attached to this course. So it's not, you can go through the information. I hope you'll be successful, but like there's a Facebook group that's very active and engaged as part of the course. And then Kevin does live weekly coaching calls to answer all your questions. So that's the thing that's missing from a lot of these other courses out there, especially when it comes to SEO, is they don't have any kind of support system. Like, yeah, maybe it's like they have a support email, but like, when you're just learning this stuff, you know that you're struggling, but you don't a lot of times not know the questions to ask to get the answer that you're struggling with. You're just like, I'm stuck, but I don't even know how to craft the question to ask you to get the answer that I need, because I don't even know what the word is. Like, yeah. So we've got a lot of different things that we built into the course, and you can't. What I'm getting at is basically you can steal the information, but you can't pirate a community. Good luck with that. That's it. So you steal the information, cool. You go through it. If you get something out of it, great. But most of those people aren't going to be successful because they don't have the community that's tied to it. So that's if you're gonna. So for those of you on here that are listening, they're thinking about starting a membership site, I would try to build a community around it, not just, this is going to be like a $37 a month membership with just like an email support or maybe some live chat. Okay, cool. But like if you build a tribe and a community around that, that's something that can't be ripped off. That's, there's a big difference between lead pages and ClickFunnels, and it's the community. Lead pages is a cool tool. They've got a lot of great tutorials, and support is great and stuff, but they didn't build a culture. ClickFunnels built a whole culture and tribe and community and stuff, and they're just like rabid fans of ClickFunnels. And it's a good tool. It helps a lot of people make money, but they built just a tribe and a culture around it, which is why it's so sticky, and they have all this engagement, and people want to be around that community. Whereas lead pages is just a tool, there's no emotion tied to lead pages. You're like, just clicks leads.
It's like ClickFunnels has built an identity. You're a funnel hacker. You're like, and pulling yourself away from being a funnel hacker is like going to be a lot harder than just someone who's using a tool. You're like a person. You're identified as part of that culture. So
yep.
Yeah, I totally agree. Hey, Kenna. Hey, Nate. Nate is he's coaching me right now for the stuff that I'm doing for Chrome extension, because he's made Chrome extension. So about his coaching. Hey, Dennis. Hey, Anita. Still, you guys are still here.
Interesting that it seems like the viewers come in waves. It spikes and then drops off, and spikes and drops off.
Yeah, and some of them go away and come back.
Do what?
Some of them go away and then they come back later.
And then they're like, you're still here on the same live? It's been 2.5 hours now.
Hey, who cares?
Because that's what we do. It's live forever, 24 hours a day. We just hit record, and this is Kim's life.
Catch us waking up, sleeping.
That's what it's going to turn into. Mark my words, man. One day it's just going to be 24/7, everybody.
Oh, man, that's creepy.
Yep.
That's like Cam on Netflix. I actually saw this trailer for Cam, and it's this Cam girl, and when her account was shut off, I kind of identified with that. I'm like, oh man, I feel so much like a Cam person, because I'm interviewing so many people every single week, and it just feels surreal. Like I can, in a way relate to that. Not with the pornographic part, but with the being like live and talking to, I don't know, it just feels weird in a way.
Yeah, it's only gonna get a bit more of that. Like, and it's just the way things have been going for years, and video and internet speeds and stuff have finally caught up. So we already have these live engagement platforms, live Facebook Live, YouTube Live and stuff, but a lot of times they just come in spurts. It's like we're only here for a couple of hours. Eventually, like, I feel like every channel is going to have a 24-hour feed that you can tune into. So so go ahead and make that SEO money, and you can tap out and you can get that passive income, and just, you don't have to be a part of that. You can just live on an island, making passive income forever. That's just, again, it's just one way to make money. You can go that route, but yeah.
I want to clarify, you guys, I don't watch porn on Netflix. Stop it. Don't paint that picture of me.
If you're looking for a way to earn money online, webcams, it might be a little bit more lucrative than YouTube starting out.
Oh, Jesus. Dennis, we're gonna link Dennis. You entered late, but this is what's up. So if you get Greg's course, which is all about SEO, and if you go back and you watch this replay, you're gonna be really, really convinced to get it. And it's a smart move to get it. If you get it, you get 2 accounts of GroupConvert, which you can sell or keep yourself, but it's retailing by my competitor for $297. So it's a lot of incentive to get it, and this deal ends Cyber Monday, 12 Eastern time, 12 p.m. midnight Eastern.
You better have an affiliate link. I hope you do.
I do. I have one.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna post it.
Okay, good. Because this is what $500 looks like. This is how much the course is, and this is how much you get back when you make this back. So
it's a super good deal. $500, you get it back if you're successful, and you will be. You will be successful.
You can buy a lot of tacos with $500.
Yeah, and eat it on Tuesdays. Thanks, Dennis. Okay, you guys, we've been here for a marathon, 2 hours, right?
Summit.
Longer. Oh man, this is probably the longest interview I've had, but I really, really enjoy it. Thanks, Greg. Okay, so I'm gonna click. You guys, we gotta go. People need to sleep. I'm gonna click end broadcast, but Greg, it launches us back into the lobby, and I'll say goodbye to you then. But I just didn't want to abruptly end it right now for you versus the audience. Hey guys, bye. Get Greg's course. I'm gonna link it. You get the deal of over 800. It's literally, if you value it, it's over $1,000 if you value it with the competitor. But if you value it with our price, it's around $900 that you're getting, and you can even profit. So yeah, bye. Oh yeah, if you like that video, then you will love all the resources that I have over at kimcdang.com. That is KIMCDANG.com. There you will find all my courses, my extensions, all the offers that I have, as well as a lot of free resources if you are just getting started.